taking a little break here, a little battery change. This is kind of a weird area out here. Looks like about a 15. What is going on? Made it, day 2. That was a tough one. Kansas is no joke, I'm telling you, and I'm still in it. But, oh, this is sleet. We're still working, right?
Yeah, still PA.
We still have jobs, so.
Yeah, right.
Welcome back to the Sketch on Wheels channel. Thanks for dropping in. And also, thanks for making 2024 a great year for the channel. Today, we're going to reflect back at 2024 and kind of look forward to 2025. It's been a great year. This last 12 months, I was able to put out 17 videos. You know, not a lot of videos compared to others, but wow, I've got a full schedule. I still work full time, got a wonderful family. So I really have to balance my time. But it's such a fun thing to do, and I really appreciate all of you supporting the channel the way you have. Special shout out to Zoe, my daughter. She's such an incredible human being. That's why I have this One More Thing with Zoe skit at the end of most of my videos. I just like to share her with the world, her spirit, her kindness. She's just a joy to be around. So she's also a good sport, and I thank her for being a part of these videos. Today, as we discuss 2024 and 2025, I took a ride to the mountains, got out my Butler map, motorcycle map. It shows gravel roads, it shows nice roads for motorcycles. I found a gravel road about 45 minutes from my home. It's going to be deep back. There's not going to be a whole lot of people there. It was a great ride, a great experience. So we're going to go through that as well. And then we're going to talk about what the last year was for the Sketch on Wheels channel and what 2025 might bring. Let's get into some of the highlights of this year. So first off, one of the highlights I had this year was I took a Himalayan group ride with a couple other owners. And John, who's local, but the other person was Bill, who's on a year-long motorcycle ride of North America. And so he had started off down in Florida, worked his way up. It just so happened I was off work the day that he was coming through the Knoxville, Smoky Mountain area. And so we met up, we went on a group ride. And it was just so interesting and fun to talk to him and about his experiences. I followed him on Instagram, and he's been all around North America, up in Canada, and it's just amazing that, you know, he's lived off this bike for a year.
Right. My name is Bill, otherwise known as Daktari Rider. I am now at the tail of the Dragon and heading northwest towards DC and then New York and beyond. Amazing countryside. I mean, I can just imagine the trails that are in there.
Yeah.
And the people that are living in there. Because there are a lot of people in there, right?
But you know, it's, you look out there, you don't see one cabin. Nothing out there.
No, but there's a bunch, I'm sure.
I mean, a couple I met the other day, they'd been really deep in the woods.
Yeah.
And they said they come across people living super remote.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But they look like they haven't come out of the woods in years.
A shout out to Bill for doing what we'd all like to do and have time to do and finances to do. It just doesn't work out for everybody that way, but wow, what an inspiring story to get on his Royal Enfield Himalayan, head out, and just ride the world. So safe travels to you, Bill. As I head out today, January 1st, 2025, I'm going to make it a practice to always ride the first day of the year. You know, people go out and they golf the first day of the year, they go hunting the first day of the year. As motorcyclists, we like to ride the first day of the year. And I saw quite a bit of bikes out on my way to the Smoky Mountains, but once I was in there, that was it. There wasn't anybody around anywhere. Driving into the mountains, every once in a while you'll come across a valley like this that's pretty cool, because you've got mountains everywhere, woods, and then there's an open plain and even cattle occasionally. So this cow, he didn't seem to mind me. He didn't have much to say, but he sure did watch me close. Up the road a bit, I found his barn and some other friends of his. And check out the old barn and even that shed that's just kind of broken up and it's hanging over the edge of a washout. Just pretty cool old stuff. And that house there, who knows how old that is. It's just really interesting to me to be able to get on a motorcycle and head out and see things that I've never seen before and where people live really remote. Let's go back and take another look at a video from 2024. I also put out a video this year about age and riding. And as a 60-year-old man, am I too old to do crazy things on motorcycles other than just traveling to the store and back? And I don't think so.
Hey there, fellow riders. Today's motovlog is a bit different. We're not just hitting the road, we're hitting the road with a purpose. To debunk the myth that being 60 plus years old should stop you from having a new adventure. Now, some might say, hey, you're over 60. Shouldn't you be settling down, sipping tea, reminiscing about the good old days? Well, to that, I say, absolutely not. Age is just a number, folks. It doesn't define your spirit or your thirst for adventure. In fact, being 60 plus means you've got a wealth of experience and wisdom under your belt, making you even more equipped to take on new adventures. Now think about it. You've spent decades navigating the twists and turns of life. You've overcome obstacles, faced fears, and conquered mountains, both literal and metaphorical. So why should a little thing like age hold you back now?
What a great road as we make our way deeper and deeper into the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. The wonderful thing about riding in the wintertime is there's no leaves on the tree. I like it when it's brisk out, when it's cool, and I can see deep into the woods and I see what my surrounding area is. You know, you don't see all these drop-offs when there's a lot of trees and foliage that's growing throughout the summertime. So in the wintertime, you really get a good view of the vastness and how deep you are down in the woods. And with that though, you need to watch out because there are bear in the area. I've seen bear when I've been riding. I hear there's wild boar, and there's also some strange people out in the woods. So you just have to be aware and keep an eye out. So let's just take a moment here and enjoy this ride in a beautiful part of Eastern Tennessee. As I make my way down this windy road, if you take a look at the road, you'll notice that there's moss in the center and on the side. So as a motorcyclist, you need to be aware of your environment. Not only is that a hazard to lose control of the bike, but it also lets me know that there's not many people traveling this road. And so I need to be extra careful, not do anything risky or make mistakes, because it would be hard to get myself out of this place because there's not going to be a whole lot of traffic coming through here. Let's head back and I'm going to show you a snippet of a video I made in 2024 that was a difficult video for me to make. It tackles a tough subject matter, but it's something that I feel like a lot of motorcyclists also share and have in common. Probably the most important video I made this year was about using our motorcycles to treat depression, anxiety, PTSD.
This ride was supposed to be something else. I had a well-organized trip planned with several interesting stops along the way. I was supposed to head out at 4 a.m. and ride to a popular lookout in the mountains to watch the sunrise. From there, I would ride to Maggie Valley, North Carolina, and tour the Wheels Through Time Motorcycle Museum. Along the way, I would film whatever piqued my interest. But today was not an ordinary day. Today had a mind of its own. Today, the dark cloud of depression crept in, dimming the sun and trying to steal my joy. Thankfully, days like today are only scattered here and there, finding their way between some truly wonderful days. Nevertheless, today I woke with the burden to try to change my perspective. The simple chores of daily living become a struggle. Getting out of bed, eating breakfast, walking the dog, those become formidable challenges. I know I am seeing the world through a clouded lens where nothing is in focus. The light around me is barely visible, barely bright enough to cast a shadow. Today is not a new feeling. The majority of my adult life, I have lived with depression. Only in the last couple of years have I taken steps to cope with it. Today I must cope with it. I don't want to get up and ride. I don't want to pack up all my gear. I don't want to experience the fatigue, the cramping, the body aches that I get after a long ride. Plain and simple, I don't want to leave the house. I want this day to fast forward to the end and hopefully awake tomorrow in a better frame of mind. But I can't trust that that will happen, so I need to be proactive and change my thought process. I've been riding motorcycles off and on for 47 years. One thing I've learned, days like today are the days I must ride.
Riding remote gives you plenty of time to think, plenty of time to yourself, and occasionally something called an intrusive thought will cross my mind. Those are unwanted, persistent, and often distressing thoughts that repeatedly enter a person's mind without their consent. So you start to think and hear things in the woods, just like this clip.
Just really peaceful and quiet out here. Not sure whether to take this loop or not. Looks like it add quite a bit of time to my route today. I want to get back before dark. This looks like to be about a 10 or 15 mile loop. Do not know what that was. Taking a little break here, little battery change. This is kind of a weird area out here. Looks like about a 15. What is going on? There's crazy sounds happening. This is where a raptor comes out of the woods and gets you.
You never know what you're going to run into in some of these rides when you're out in the woods, but this was kind of unexpected. January 1st, in the middle of the afternoon, there's two guys in this very remote road filling potholes. And, you know, it was nice to see some warm bodies out there, but it got me thinking, like, Tennessee, their Department of Transportation or whatever, must have been under budget. And they probably offered a couple guys to fill potholes on New Year's Day for probably triple time labor. I can't imagine why else anybody would be out here on official business on January 1st working. It made no sense to me at all, but it was nice to see them. It gives you a little bit of comfort. If anything, they could radio for help if I needed their help. Some other videos I made this year were around maintenance, modifications, new products, hopefully some bike reviews. You know, I did a bike review this year about the Himalayan 450 versus the 411.
Today is a great day for me. Just about 40 minutes down the road from me is the Royal Enfield demo truck. I get to ride a 450 today, not only for just 20, 30 minutes, I get to take it for 2.5 hours. Don't get to go off-road, so that's kind of a big bummer. But anyway, I get to enjoy the Foothills Parkway, East Tennessee, riding the 450, and compare it to the 411. Oh, look at that lineup. So that one looks familiar. I don't think I'll be riding that one. Oh, Yeah. Not the same bike. Oh my gosh, will you look at that? I'm in a 6th gear. What the heck? What are you doing, Himalayan? That's the gear I've been missing in the 411. All right, so you first time Himalayan rider?
Yeah.
All right, what do you think first time?
It's pretty smooth. I think it has plenty of power for, what it is. I mean, it gets up and goes very easily.
And that was a great opportunity. I got to be on the 450 for over 2 hours. So we'll continue doing those videos in 2025 as well. As I ride next to these small rivers, it makes me think about what happened a couple months ago in North Carolina, just about 2 hours from here. And that is when the hurricane hit, the waters came, the mudslides came, these small bodies of water became raging rivers, and the people that lived there had nowhere to go. It just reinforced something I already knew, and that's that mountain living can be dangerous. Traveling in these mountains can be dangerous. You always have to have an escape plan. You have to have a way out. And so as I ride some of these back roads and I'm far, far away and remote and I don't have any cell phone connectivity, I do plan ahead. I do take precautions. I do study my map so I know what roads are around me, what population is around me. And I also don't get caught in too late to where it gets dark, to where if I had to walk out, that I would still have time to walk out. And I always look for landmarks as I'm riding. I look for homes or houses or cabins, so I know what the closest place to me that I passed and where to go back to where there are people and there is a way to get help. Next up, an adventure in 2024 that was one of the hardest things I've ever done on a motorcycle. The highlight of my trip, definitely going from the highest point in the Smoky Mountains to the highest point in the Rocky Mountains at Pikes Peak. I did this over 3,700 mile trip in 7 days. And this again goes back to 60 years old. Should you do crazy stuff like this? And I didn't plan anything. I had one accommodation lined up and that was it. Now I did have some buddies that I met up with from PA school, and Luke was kind enough out in Vail, Colorado to put me up for a couple nights. But yeah, I didn't have anywhere that I specifically wanted to go except Pikes Peak.
Look at that. The clouds just ripping across the top of that mountain and then flowing to the other side. It's got to be 45 degrees up here, I'm telling you. And with that wind blowing, it's crazy cold. This is it. What's up, Glenn?
There you are. You made it.
Oh, I did. So Glenn and Nadja have started a wine business, or not a business yet, but it's getting there. What's the name of it again?
The Meridocene Vineyard.
Meridocene Vineyard.
Way truth cannot be hidden. You gotta get going. Easy now. You gotta get going. Easy now.
Made it, day 2. That was a tough one. Kansas is no joke, I'm telling you, and I'm still in it.
Boom, boom, there's a knock at the door, but don't freeze in your tracks. It's that chance that you've been waiting for. It's the light coming through the cracks. When life shows an open door, come on, step through. A chance like the purest gold. Come on, come on. When life shows an open road, you know you should ride it. Forget what you've been told and ride this open road. When life is an open road, you know you should ride it. Forget what you've been told and ride this open road.
Today I was reminded that we truly live in a small world. As I stopped for gas and a quick bite to eat at a gas station in Colby, Kansas, with a population of around 5,000, I sit down and a gentleman strikes up a conversation about motorcycling. This gentleman's name is Jim Oliver. Not only has he ridden throughout the United States over the last 50 or 60 years, but he's also traveled around the world on a bike he named Lucille. Jim took the stories that he gathered in his travels and put it in a book. The title is Lucille and the Triple X Road.
I've been putting miles and miles on. I'm past Denver now. So here with Luke, he's an ortho PA in Vail. How lucky did you get to get Vail?
Got pretty lucky. I lucked out for sure.
So Luke and I got on several rotations together. Tahlequah, Oklahoma, and where else did we go?
Horton, Kansas. Yeah.
It was stressful, but we were able to handle the stress, I'd say.
We had a fun class.
We're still working, right?
Yeah, still PA.
We still have jobs, so.
Yeah, right.
Glenwood Canyon is widely considered one of the most scenic natural features on the interstate highway system. Riding through the canyon down towards the Colorado River would be one of the highlights of my journey.
So I'm gonna try to go in between this rain. There's just a little gap there. There's rain on my right, rain on my left. But ow, this is sleet. Ow! Oh my gosh! Oh no! What the heck? Ow! Okay, this is serious now. I might be stupid for doing it. Look at this water. Oh, I can just drive out of it.
That should be Pikes Peak right there.
We are here. Yeah, this is pretty incredible up here. I'm a little shaky walking, to be honest with you. So let's go get some refreshment, get some water. That Pikes Peak trip was one of the hardest things that I've ever done. I was in 103-degree weather through Kansas, 30-degree weather in the mountains at Hoosier Pass in the Continental Divide, experienced hail on one of the mountain road trips. It was just a very difficult trip. There wasn't a day that I wasn't 8 to 10 hours on the bike, but most days were 12 to 14 hours. So the hardest part of the trip, besides the weather being so crazy and ridiculous, from hail to 103-degree heat, is actually going up Pikes Peak. I was fine going up. It was a little scary, I'll be honest with you. There's some pretty steep drop-offs, and you're on a big, heavy Harley-Davidson motorcycle. But once I got to the top and I put my feet on the ground and I was at altitude of 14,000 feet, I knew something was wrong. Something was physically off with my body, and it was altitude sickness. Walking across the parking lot, I was out of breath. I went inside to the main building and I found a spot where I had to lay down. And it was a scary time. First time in my life riding a motorcycle that I thought I've done something here that I can't recover from. How am I going to get this bike down the mountain? Thankfully, after 45 minutes, I was able to kind of get my air back and able to walk to the bike. And I did ride the motorcycle down, obviously. I put some things in perspective. For me, my age, my health, what I can do and what I can't do. But the trip was just an amazing trip. Some of the best roads that I've ever ridden in my life. And I can't wait to go to a different place in 2025 and experience something similar. I'm really excited about what lies ahead in 2025. I want to thank you all for watching the videos, subscribing to the channel, giving me some comments and some thumbs up. Thanks again for watching the Skitch on Wheels channel, and I'll see you in the next video.
So Zoe's done me a big favor and she's laid out all the Christmas lights for me to put up. Are you gonna put the lights up?
No.
Me? Who's this?
A little howling puppy.
A little howling puppy? You want to go out on a motorcycle ride with Daddy today? Mommy, do you want to go out on a motorcycle ride?
I would love to, but yeah. I really would like to. I have to be here and cook your dinner.
Zoe, is that you? Who's in there?
Do you know what you're doing, Zoe? You're ignoring me. Okay. We gonna decorate the house?